place to hang out if you are in Nashville. And it's great to be here. Man, do I love Mars. Why? Because they make some cool things, some of my favorite things. I love candy, although they are far more than M&Ms, as we'll talk about. But as a dog lover, the fantastic dog food brands that are part of the Mars family are food that has given nutrition to a lot of the dogs that the rescues I've been involved with have saved. And it's always about connecting the dots for me in my life, and as it will be for you as you go down your path. So I like to start these things out with a couple of actual songs, kind of some goofy songs written by Nashville songwriters, just to see what you guys think of them. These were big hits. One of them is called "If I'd Shot You When I Wanted To, I'd Be Out by Now." Maybe not the best thing for the times we're in, but anyway. Another one is called "My Wife Ran Off with My Best Friend, and I Sure Do Miss Him." And one of my favorites, "How Do I Kiss the Lips at Night That Chew My Ass Out All Day Long." These are actual song titles written by groups of Nashville songwriters. So we just saw a compilation of kind of the soundtrack of most of the last 100 years, and there's a thread that we're going to discuss a tiny bit before we get into that, maybe that activity they were talking about a little earlier. There's a thread all the way back from the 1920s where teams of songwriters with mutually complementary skill sets, typically these teams of writers, one was a stronger wordsmith and one was a stronger musician, were put together by their superiors to create the product of the day, the hits for Motown and Broadway and Elvis and Sinatra. That thread goes all the way through the 1960s when a change happened and artists started writing their own music. That was the change, but the common thread was that for the Beatles and the Stones, there were still teams of songwriters. And actually, for Jagger and Richards and for Lennon and McCartney, they had gentlemen's agreements with each other that as we write these songs together, which hopefully will, maybe somebody will like, I think. As we write these songs together, no matter what happens down the road, we're going to split the credit equally, 50-50 down the middle. That way, if anyone ever makes up any stories in the media about how we hate each other, don't get along, we'll know that it's just media stuff. That thread goes all the way through to the modern day business model, to people who created things like, I don't know, does anyone here have a phone of any kind? Smartphone? No one has a smartphone? Not allowed in the class? Okay. Can I show you? So, you think these changed our lives? You think? Attached at the hip? 24/7, 365? Teams like Jobs and Wozniak, or Gates and Allen, the team at Mars, the collaborative, innovative, creative solutions type, more voices at the table being heard. That is the common thread, collaborative songwriting all the way through to the game changers of the modern day business model. I'd like to see if someone has a guess on this. In 1961, the average country hit song, we are in Nashville, they write a couple country songs here. The average country hit song, and in one country we've been a little bit, sorry Cherie, in country sometimes we're a little bit slow to catch on. In 1961, how many songwriters do you think would have contributed to a #1 country song? A #1 country song? Anybody? 5? Good guess. Let's get 1 or 2 more.
10.
10? Okay, going in the wrong direction.
2.
1. Who said 1 first? Someone over here. 1. Okay, nice. In 1961, the average #1 country song would have been written by 1 songwriter. Okay. In 2014, the last year that I saw stats for, I'd like to get a guess or two on the average number of songwriters that contribute to a #1 song, regardless of genre today. Pop, rock, country, etc. Anybody? 4.
5.
How many ringers are there in the room? Okay, so 3.8 would be the average number. So Adele, when she wrote that song, Someone Like You or Somebody Like You, even back in 2011, 2012, they were in a recording studio much like this. There were her and one other primary songwriter. There were 2 other writers in the room. One of them was a friend of mine. She contributed like 3 words. It doesn't matter. They all split the credit. And tonight, just so you know, we are going to write a song together, and we will split the credit equally. Everybody will split 100% of nothing, okay? And it's all going to be even. We're going to talk tonight a little bit about some things that, hey Andrew, can we switch this over? That'd be great. We're going to talk about some things, including the principles at Mars, which are really, really awesome. But first off, I'd like to introduce a couple of my buddies here, really dear friends. First off, amazing people. Second off, incredibly talented. My best friend in the world, when he's here with me at these gigs.
You leave the room and then suddenly I'm not. Who you keeping?
Yeah.